Is permanent makeup allowed according to Halacha?
One of the restrictions in Torah are brought down in Sefer Vayikra regarding tattoos. Uksoives kako loi sisnu bochem. The custom of the Goyim used to be that they would make a cut in their skin, and inside this cut they would put inside ink, and this becomes a permanent writing on their skin, on their body. They would put in like dedications to their getchkas, to their Avodah Zarah, to whatever they were believing, and this showed that they are permanently connected and united to whatever their belief, whatever their faith was. Factually, doing it isn't just for Avodah Zarah, but any type of writing in this type of way is called a ksevis kaka, and you shouldn't do it. Question is, when we're talking about this type of scratch, is it the idea of the scratch? Is it the writing? Is it the ink? What does that really apply to? It applies what happens if somebody just writes on his hand, not with a scratch. Decides he doesn't have a piece of paper and he writes a phone number on his hand. Is that called a ksevis kaka? Is that a tattoo? The answer is no, being that even though it's a writing, but it's not engraved, it's not permanent, that's not called a ksevis kaka. What happens if somebody does such a writing, not to put letters, not to put a writing, but to do it for beauty, do it for other reasons, like the idea of permanent makeup. Permanent makeup is the idea that you take the makeup, you take the color, and you let it in under the skin. Yes, you don't do it as deep as a regular tattoo, but under the outer level of skin, they put in some type of color, and that is a permanent makeup. It stays between 3 and 5 years, depends on the different ways of doing it. But nevertheless, here it is. It's engraved in the skin, in the flesh, and there is color. There is the makeup. Is it considered kaka or not? So the real truth is, it's brought down in the Tosefta, Hareishem al avdei shlo yivrach potter. Somebody puts and writes on his slave, he puts like a name or a number, and the purpose is for him not to run away. So it says clearly in the Tosefta that he's potter, that it's not considered Avodah Zarah that's brought down in Torah, but the Ramah says potter aval asur. Even though it's not an isur d'oraisa, it's still not the right thing to do. And even if it's not permanent forever, but it stays for 3 or 5 years, many poskim say that it is a major problem. And essentially, according to most poskim, it's only when it's actually in the shape of a letter. Because remember, the original reason why not to do it is not to put the lettering referring to this type of Avodah Zarah. Nevertheless, the Minchas Chinuch, which is explanation on Sefer HaChinuch, brings down from the Rambam that even not in the shape of a letter, it could still be a problem of Avodah Zarah, of a tattoo being put in. Bottom line, if there's a real reason that someone really needs to put on this type of makeup, chas v'shalom, because of a sickness, chas v'shalom, because an emotional or deep reasoning that there is a side to really need it, then you should consult a Rav, because without consulting a Rav, without a side reason, it is for sure, according to the Ramah, potter aval asur, it's forbidden to do. According to the Rambam and the Minchas Chinuch, it may be an isur d'oraisa. However, there are sides to be matirit, so only if there's a very good reason, you should consult a Rav about this idea of permanent makeup not being like a tattoo.